It's great. Seriously amazing. So good.
I am Nate WL777 and this is Character Piece. Today we'll be reviewing an anime by the name of Golden Kamuy. This is currently got 2 seasons. It is 24 episodes long, so that's 12 per season. It was originally aired in 2018. It is of the adventure Japanese Western style genre anime. This anime focuses on a veteran of the 203 Hill War. His nickname is the Immortal Sugimoto. While working as a gold miner, he hears a story about a large amount of gold that's hidden, and the directions to get to the gold is actually hidden within tattoos on a group of convicts who have escaped. This is really the story of his search and other people's search for that gold. The story here is actually very captivating and very original. It is well written. It is a great mix of exposition and action as well. They do a very good job of merging those two things together, where some don't. It also has a lot of great humor. I'm not the biggest into humor. I do tend to gravitate towards more serious, but it is always nice when you can have good humor mixed in, and I think that comes with a lot of more subtle humor than out in the open goofy humor. And I thought that they really did a good job most of the time with providing that kind of subtle humor that somebody like myself would appreciate. A lot of times I don't. So I felt like they did a really good job there. It's very strong even with its twists. There are some things in here that happen that I didn't see coming within the characters, and I think that's a testament to how well it was written as well. Occasionally it got a little bit muddled. There is a lot going on, especially in the second season. I felt like some things, maybe they could have left a couple of things out. I think they dove into some storylines that maybe weren't completely necessary. It's a little bit of a small criticism, but one that's still there nevertheless. And it did tend to get goofy at times. Not a large amount. Again, most of the time the humor in it worked very well for me. Occasionally, though, it would get a little bit over the top, a little too much. There were some episodes that kind of caught me off guard. Not even so much the goofiness, that it just kind of got a little twisted, and it was okay. It just did kind of veer a little bit off of the path that they were going. I felt like, especially in season 2. Overall, though, the story was great. The animation in here is beautifully animated. The world building itself is absolutely beautiful. A lot of it takes place in wilderness with snow, and I thought they did a very good job creating the scenery. It also has a good mixture of, this is taking place in a time there was still a lot of native people. This is in Japan, and it kind of reminds me of some of the Eskimos and indigenous people to America. That they did a really good job of creating that environment, those people, kind of the history of those people, or kind of like their beliefs and the way they went about their traditions and things like that. I thought that was done extremely well, so that's a testament also to the very good world building that they did. The action scenes are very top notch too. This isn't one of those animes with special powers or anything. It is a little bit more grounded. Lots of violence, though. There is lots of that. It is mostly like guns and knives and bow and arrow and things like that. But man, they did a really good job bringing all of that action to life, and I thought that was done very well. Character designs worked very well as well, and I really loved the diversity in the character designs. Again, they're kind of dealing with a mixture of more modern stuff in cities, that kind of old Western time period where people were kind of moving into more of the industrial age. They did a really good job of mixing the two worlds together in here. I thought that was done extremely well, and I also love the color palette that they used. A lot of the color choices, the contrast between one character to the next, I thought was very, very appealing. It looked beautiful. The animation is wonderful. It's top notch in this. The characters also themselves were very well fleshed out. I cared a lot about all of the characters. There were quite a bit of characters in here, and I thought they did a very good job of making them all pretty unique and making me care about all of the characters. I mean, good guys, bad guys, it didn't matter. If they were introduced, there was tons of side characters in here, and I still felt like those were very well fleshed out. This is obviously one of my favorite things in anime. That's why I call it character piece. I love characters, character building, and I thought they did an extremely good job. The chemistry worked between people as well. I thought some of the relationships that happened, whether it was friendships or even mistrusts of one person to another. They found themselves in situations where they were working together even though their kind of goals were separate. I felt like those worked pretty well as well. I was really, really happy with the way that the chemistry that they all had. The motivations also were very believable, and there were many, many, many different motivations in here. Pretty much everybody had their own reason for moving in the direction that they were doing, for joining with the people that they were doing, and sometimes this is where the twists and turns, those things kind of changed sometimes, the allegiances and who they were working with and for what purpose they were working with them, and sometimes you didn't know what the purpose was and later you would find out. That was extremely well done. So very much kudos to them for doing that. I love when things like that happen in anime, so I was very happy with that. Maybe just a little too many characters. I feel like they really did introduce a lot. It really just a small amount too much. I'm definitely not complaining overall about the characters. I just felt like maybe a small complaint is that they did kind of overload a little bit with taking time away from some of the other characters so that they could introduce new ones. Very little of that, but definitely a criticism that needs to be noted here. Voiceover work also worked very well. The voice actors in this did a great job. Lots of range in emotions, and I felt like I believed 100% the reasons for those emotions. Their voiceover work very much matched the situation that they were in. That doesn't always happen in anime, and I was very pleased with it here. The dialogue also worked very well, and I felt like the voiceover worked very well also with some of the more subtle comedic timing that needed. Again, I'm pretty critical with animation, with anime when it does comedy. A lot of it doesn't work for me, a lot of it. It's probably just my sense of humor, or being a little stingy with it. I'd really like to see more serious stuff in animation. So when a more serious anime, and this does have a lot of seriousness in it, can mix in those subtle humor and comedic timing, I'm very impressed with that, and I felt like they did a very good job with the voiceover work doing that. My favorite character is, I'm going to mess this up, Tanigaki Gensiro, and Genshiro, I think. I'm really bad with names, sorry. But he was a very down-to-earth character. I felt like his arc was really good. He was one of these characters where I do feel like a lot of his motivations maybe changed, and they did a very good job of fleshing out why that motivation changed. The reason why he went from A to B from the start of the animation to the end of the animation. I wouldn't say he's like the main character. Again, there's a whole lot of characters in here. It would have been easy for me to choose one of any of these characters. They do such a good job fleshing these out. It's a very, very big testament to the reason why I like this so much. When it comes to an anime and I'm trying to figure out who my favorite character is and I'm kind of struggling a little bit, I feel like that is such a good sign and very much something I enjoy in them. I could have easily picked a bunch of them. I thought they all worked well, but I liked him. Tanigaki, I loved his story arc, and I loved his motivations and his viewpoints on things. And I felt like there was a lot of development in his character that I just found very appealing, and so that was the reason he was my favorite character in this. As far as if children can watch it, this is something I do in all my anime reviews. No, this is a very mature, it's a very MA kind of anime. There is nudity, there is lots of sexual talk, there is lots of violence, very, very MA. It's adult. It is adult. So, my rating, I'm going to give this a 9.2. Again, I noted some of the small things, criticisms that I had about it. I thought originally that this might have been ranked a little bit higher. I probably wouldn't have ranked it too much higher than this anyways. It did lose a little bit of points because I did think at times it got a little bit muddled with the storyline, and at times they focused a little on introducing too many characters. They are small criticisms, but still criticisms that kind of dropped it down a notch. But 9.2 is very strong, and I would still very, very much suggest this anime to somebody. It's a high recommendation. I very much enjoyed it. It was an easy watch from start to finish. This is one of those animes where when it was over, I do believe that there's going to be a third season. I was reading and it's going to be announced, or it was announced that there was going to be a third season, and I am super excited about it. I didn't want it to be over when it ended. I definitely felt like, please give me some more. So that's a testament to how good it was. I very much enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite of the newer ones that I've watched recently. Things like Castlevania kind of come to mind, but yeah, very, very high marks on this one, so I highly suggest watching it. Thank you for giving this a watch. If you got anything out of the review, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. Comment below, do you feel like I rated it too high? Did I rate it too low? Who is your favorite character? Again, so many that you could have choose from. Did you enjoy it? Give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I will share a link below. I always do that in my anime reviews to a website that you can watch it yourself. And thanks for watching. I definitely will have some more videos up here pretty soon. Thank you.